What is up? What is up? What is going on, everyone? Happy Monday. Let's see who we got up in here. Tragnat, always happy to see you, my guy. Oh man, yeah, the movie news, right? A lot to talk about tonight. I think it's a lot to talk about tonight. What else we got? Frankie, oh man, Frankie, you know it ain't right if Frankie ain't here. I'm happy to see that you're here. Thank you. Um, so, so not tonight. Tonight we are here. We are live. We are on time. Got my seltzer. Staying hydrated. I'm ready. Um, Michael Lamont's always up in here. Thank you. I appreciate you. Marquisha, I see you back there. You just snuck in, said one word, hello, and just started playing the back. Like, all right, what you got to say tonight? Oh man. Oh, man, you're looking fly. No. Look, this is the new appearance for a little bit. I figured let me try something a little different because um I wanted to kind of just model this a little bit differently. We're going to be talking about movie news, right? And usually when you watch the news, the guys are usually dressed. So I was like, let me just put on an outfit for y'all. Let me make sure I look presentable in case somebody needs a host or somebody wants to fly me out to LA to be a moderator for a panel or a South by Southwest Film Festival. I am very professional. Oh man. Oh, I've already gone corporate. Listen, buddy. All right, I am very corporate. Okay, I am a company man. Oh man, who else we got up in here? Mandy's up in here. I see you. Hi. How you doing tonight, Mandy? Hope you're enjoying yourself. Don't let these people scare you. It's a safe place. You're gonna enjoy yourself tonight. We're gonna talk about a few different things. Now, some of you have already gathered some of the topics that I'm going to talk about based off of the thumbnail for this video. So let me just give you all a quick rundown of some of the things that I want to talk about. There's some award news. If you guys have been paying attention to the post that I post on the movie blog, you guys probably seen that there's some award news for Harold. We're going to talk a little bit about the Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively case again, because, this is starting to heat up. Like, I wasn't even paying attention to it, but now that I'm paying attention to it, I'm like, this is getting kind of spicy. It's getting like every day there's more news. There's some Fantastic Four teaser. There's a Jurassic World trailer teaser. And we're going to talk about those things really quickly. Then we're going to get into our main topics tonight, which are going to be about the Emilia Perez acting person in those comments. And we're going to talk about Anthony Mackie, Sam Wilson. We're going to talk about this Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. And then I'm going to close things out with giving you guys my actual, factual, honest reaction to the new film, Heart Eyes, that's coming out in theaters, I think this Friday. I was able to see it last week. I was able to put together some notes. My written review is up on the movie blog. We'll talk about that. But those are all the topics I want to go through tonight. And of course, it's always open for anyone to just suggest any topics that you guys want to just chat about while we're all together in the comments. And, I'm going to keep an eye out for that. But what else we got going on here? Talk. Let's see. I watch Flow. What's Flow? You got to tell me what Flow is. Oh, the Final Destination trailer came out today. You know what the wild part is? I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it yet. I was working for the most part throughout the day, and then yesterday I was working a bit on getting this live put together. So I'm going to be relying on you guys to help me out with the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively stuff in case there's more stuff that has happened that I'm not yet caught up to speed on. But yeah, it's gonna be some wild stuff. So I'm gonna get right into it. There's like 13 of us in here right now. It's floating between like 13 and 17. I love when it's intimate, nice little group, just us. We can talk about things, and I can pay closer attention to the comments. So where am I gonna start? I am going to start with what I've been doing for the past week. So in between, last week's episode and this week's episode, I'm gonna just come out in front of it, fall on the sword. I have not watched any more Severance yet. I saw the first episode of the first season. I got distracted by Paradise on Hulu, which is like, oh my gosh, Paradise like stole my life. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I'm not even reviewing it. Like, I'm not even like doing this as an obligation thing. This is just me like channel surfing, find something to watch with the wife. She wasn't interested in watching Severance. Um, and we landed there. And now I'm in Paradise. This is it. I can't wait. If you guys aren't aware, Paradise is this new show on Hulu, starring James Marsden, who most people know him as Cyclops from the X-Men movies, and then Sterling K. Brown. I know some people might not know who Sterling K. Brown is for somehow. So to help you out, if you did see the Black Panther movie, he was Killmonger's dad at the beginning of the movie. That's Sterling K. Brown. He's a very famous actor, award worthy. He's in this new show, and man, they are doing some stuff. It's a story about where James Marsden is like president of the United States, and Sterling K. Brown is his Secret Service detail that's assigned to protect the president, and the drama that unfolds. And when I tell you, I did not expect that twist. Like, usually it takes the first 8 minutes of a show to stick me, and like they was doing it already. Like, first 8 minutes, I was like, all right, this is cool. This is a nice little background thing I'm in. And then they gave me the twist, and I'm like, oh, I'm all the way in. Like, hands down, if this show does get a second season, we're covering it with like episode weekly. We're covering it. But it needs to have a second season in order to meet my criteria. But I wanted to give you guys that information about what I've been watching. I've been watching, I've surprisingly been watching anime. I don't know if you guys watch this on Netflix. It's Sakamoto Days. Like, whoa, I don't even watch anime like this, but like I'm not a heavy anime person anymore. Like, it takes Goku to get me to watch anime these days. If Goku's not in it, I'm probably not with it. Um, but Sakamoto Days caught my eye. Like, I saw it. It was like on the top 10 of TV shows, and I was like, an anime made the top 10? And like I had nothing. My wife was asleep. I needed something to put on that was short because I was like, all right, I can't put Severance on. I'm gonna fall asleep. This is like 20-minute episodes. This is great. So I put it on. I did not go to sleep. I did not go to sleep. I ended up watching the first 3 episodes in a row because this is also one of those shows that's doing a weekly release. And I'm like, whoa, whoa. It reminds me of like Trigun, like the old Trigun anime, like with Vash the Stampede. And it makes me think like this is what would have happened to Vash had he made it to retirement. Like he met a girl and retired. And like that's the vibe I'm getting from the show. The humor is kind of the same. Very, very similar to Trigun, in my opinion. But that's okay in a good way. Like I'm at that point where I'm not gonna get the Trigun sequel that I want, so I'm gonna be okay with this. Um, let's see, what else have I been doing? I saw Blink Twice, the movie Blink Twice with Channing Tatum. It was directed by Zoe Kravitz. It was basically like Jeffrey Epstein, the movie. Like, whoa, yo, I was pleasantly surprised. I gotta say, Zoe Kravitz does a very good job with direction. The things that I saw in the film, as far as like storytelling, the pacing, the casting, Haley Joel Osment was in it. Like it was just like some really cool casting in there. Um, and the camera angles and the use of color. So like certain things might not always fly with every film fan, but there's some who are like film students who are like sitting there and they're looking at the color palette and the tone and all that stuff that goes into a movie, that only they might be able to articulate that they're seeing. It's so well put together. The use of red, the use of green, the use of yellow, um, the tasteful way that they showed the darker moments of that island. I really thought it was really well put together. I was like, man, this is like, I get the point. Like, this is really, really cool. This is really good. So yeah, I was able to see that. And then last but not least, I've been playing a lot of The Last of Us. I've been playing a lot of The Last of Us. Some of you guys who watches my channel on Twitch. Like, we're not streaming on Twitch right now because a lot of people watch on Twitter. We're probably going to drop Facebook. Facebook is pretty low. But Twitch, if you guys watch the movie blog on Twitch, I'm usually going through games for the first time on there. I just finished completing Spider-Man 2 for the first time. I'm now going through The Last of Us Part 2 for the first time. I'm playing through it now so that when the series comes out, I can kind of know. Like, I don't want to be surprised by the TV show and then go back to the game. I'd rather cut my teeth in the game than anything. So I'm really enjoying that, playing The Last of Us 2. I'm live streaming on Twitch pretty sporadically. And last but not least, I saw the Royal Rumble winner. Like, I don't really talk about wrestling here, right? Like, I don't. I know. I keep this kind of stuff separate. You guys might have noticed if you read the movieblog.com that Emmanuel and I do kind of start talking about wrestling now. Like, wrestling's been cool for a while, but it wasn't to the point where we wanted to talk about it in front of our audiences. It like, I grew up with The Rock and Stone Cold and us going to school and giving each other stunners and rock bottoms and somebody laying down on the ground long enough for one of our friends to do the people's elbow. Like, that was us all throughout junior high and high school. So like, that was my era, the Attitude Era. And then I kind of walked away, and then I kind of came back, and I gotta say, wrestling got good again. And I kind of saw what was happening with the Royal Rumble, and man, I have questions. I was like, what? Who won? Why? What? Him? Okay. Man, oh man. But yeah, those are just some quick things that I've been doing in the past week, just to kind of keep you guys up to speed with why I haven't been catching up on Severance. I got so many distractions this week, hard eyes and TV shows, and I went off on, man, side quests. But yeah, let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. I'm really curious about what everyone is saying in the comments, and I probably will review that trailer with you guys together. Oh yes, Flo, the golden. Yes. Good. I'm sorry. Yes. Everything about the Baldoni and Lively came out an hour ago. They're in front of a judge today. Yeah, I saw something about the case is going to be set for like March of 2026. Like, they're going to have a long lead time. They're going to have plenty of time to settle this outside of court ahead of the date, but we'll see what happens. Which R? Robert Reynolds? Tuning in from the Gold Coast of Australia. How you doing today? Hey, I'm doing great. What Gold Coast? Okay, Google. What time is it on the Gold Coast of Australia? Time in Gold Coast, Australia. 8:14 a.m. So you're listening to us on your way to start your day. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you giving me a little bit of your time and listening to us. Hopefully I can entertain you. I'm gonna do my best. But thank you so much for coming through. Always happy to have one more Australian in the building. Jay Smith, always happy to have you here. Appreciate you. That's a lot. That's like Bianca Sensori PDA in the avatar right there. Is it like you're showing a lot? You're showing a lot right there. You're showing a lot. Paradise, White House down / under the dome. Sure. But so far better written. The new Avatar is going to be weird. I don't see it yet. Unless you're talking about the Avatar movie. I thought you was talking about your Avatar. Like, you're replacing the D. Sakamoto Days is awesome. My son turned me on to that. He read the manga. Yeah. So yeah, Sakamoto Days was a pleasant surprise. It was a happy find of mine. I'm really digging it so far. Only thing I just can't stand these days is like weekly releases. Mainly because there's so many shows that don't have weekly releases. It's always cool when like I could get off of work and I could be like, oh, I'm watching this on Monday. I'm watching this on Tuesday. I'm watching this on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But it feels like they're not following a structure for shows anymore. Like, some stuff releases on Wednesday, some stuff releases on Friday. I don't really have a consistent schedule there. It's hard for me to plan around this. But yeah, I'm totally on to it. I wish I could binge it. I'm there. It was like Jeffrey Epstein, the movie. I was very surprised. I mean, isn't that what happened? An island where people was getting abused? It sound like that to me. Let's see. Men's Rumble, good. Women Rumble, pants. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for Charlotte because here's the thing: I've never seen Charlotte wrestle. Like not live, not like when she was actively wrestling. I've watched like stuff on YouTube after the fact, and I was like, whoa, like I missed so many good eras of wrestling. I missed everything with the Shield, everything. I missed it all. I only get highlights of it after the fact. I caught Roman's reign, championship reign at toward the end, like the last six, like when he beat Cody that first year to when he lost to Cody the second time. That was the only thing I caught. So I had to go back and try to watch all the other cool stuff, how he took down Goldberg, how he took down so many other cool major wrestlers. So yeah, I missed all that stuff, but now I'm catching up to Charlotte Flair. I just was like, him? I really thought John Cena was gonna win, or The Rock was gonna show up at least to make things interesting. I really thought it was gonna go a different way. You want X Pac to win? Everybody, I think X Pac deserves a win. He's had it rough. You didn't cover Silo season 2. I know. I'm sorry, Marcos. I'm so sorry. Look, Silo came out at a really tough time for me in that it was November. I was finishing up from. It was November. November's my tough month. It just didn't come out at a good time for me. So I caught the first 2 episodes. I really need to watch all the rest. I'm doing the same thing with Severance right now. I don't know. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm really sorry. Let's see what else we got up in here. I didn't want to jump because you're talking about. Let me know if you want me to. Mandy, you can jump in anytime you want. Always jump in. We're going to be talking about all the main things right now. Let me go ahead and start. What is this? No, the new Avatar animation that's coming out with. I don't. Oh, are you talking about the Airbender? Oh. Hey, I want to let y'all know. Hey, I want to let y'all know. Thank you, Jay Smith. I appreciate you. Thank you. Always going to give time and shout outs to anybody who's able to donate. Thank you. Look, I'm looking for your next comment. Matter of fact, let me remember to keep Cash App open because sometimes that happens. I forget. Kind of like I forgot to put the Cash App banner over here. There we go. Oh, what's this? Okay, I'll take it. Hey. But yeah, thank you so much, Jay Smith, for that $5 donation. Thank you. Big shout out to Kayla's bestie, who's always supporting the channel, even behind the scenes. Even when I'm not live, even when it's just a replay. Thank you so much, Kayla's bestie. And of course, my man Fred. I ain't going to say your last name because I ain't going to say your whole government, but Fred, I really appreciate you for donating the $1 donation. Look, you don't have to give me the dollar, but I definitely appreciate it, especially because you're giving me your time, you're giving me your energy, you're giving me so much. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And oh, hey, I want to let y'all know. Hey, I want to let y'all know. Thank you, Frankie. Frankie. You know, I love you. I mean, in a good way. You know, don't have your husband looking for me. I know he does special effects, so he probably knows how to make it look like an accident. Thank you so much, Frankie. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm gonna keep Movie Blog Mondays going. You guys are my motivation to keep this thing going, to try new things and try to keep making things better. I'm constantly trying to improve because of you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Frankie. Tell your husband I said hi. He's got a good one. All right, let me let me go ahead and get in here. Every time he talks about food, drink. Oh, it's the drinking game. Oh man. We probably should make this official, right? Like this is a clear thing because I never go without talking about food. So yeah. let's just go ahead and make this official. I'm gonna start adding this to the bottom thing. Take a shot every time I talk about food. So oh yeah, Marcos, I see you. There's definitely some sci-fi movies and TV shows coming up. I'm gonna get into some of that a little bit toward the end. So give me a few moments and I'm gonna get right back to this. But I got this comment started so I don't forget. So first up, oh, how about I share my screen, right? Let me start sharing my screen. I'm gonna go over here. So I mentioned that there are a couple of teaser trailers out there right now. So what I wanted to do was just kind of talk show some of the teaser trailers that are out ahead of this week's releases of new trailers. But yeah, this first one is like the definition of teaser trailer. So this landed in my inbox earlier today on the movie blog. I posted it. I shared some little quick notes about my feelings on it. But I wanted to share it with everyone in case you haven't already seen it. Megan is back. Megan is back. Megan 2.0. Bloomhouse was kind enough to send me a teaser trailer earlier this week. Do I still have Bloomhouse t-shirts? I might have some Bloomhouse t-shirts to do a giveaway. I'm gonna check. But I was able to meet up with the folks at Bloomhouse at the New York Comic Con. They gave me some t-shirts to gift away last October. I think I might still have them. If I do, we're going to host a giveaway next week to get these into your lucky hands. But to go ahead and get started, let's do the teaser trailer for Megan 2.0 in case you guys haven't seen it. Oh, wait. Almost forgot. You guys can't hear sound in Firefox. Oh, man. Good thing I remembered at the last second. But better late than never, right? But never late is better. So let me switch this to my other browser window real quick. And now we're cooking with grease.
Hit it like, get it hot, make a bitch, it's a fun. Hit it like, get it hot, make a bitch.
Miss me?
Like I said, it was absolutely a teaser. So just some quick thoughts on it. I thought it was cool. It's fine. It's just a teaser though, right? We're just seeing Megan standing in the light. But it does show us that the iconic moves are back. The like I can't do it, but the moves are back. We're gonna see Megan hopefully give us some more viral dances. Like movie producers, directors, pay attention, right? If you want to get the attention of today's youth, have your actors dance. Make them dance, not musical dance, just like dancing to music. Just it works, right? We still have people doing the Deadpool in sync, bye bye bye. That's been viral for almost a year now. Megan was absolutely viral. Wednesday was absolutely viral. Pay attention. This is how you get their attention. But it was a cool little teaser. We have a release date. It's coming out June 27th. I personally want to see a full trailer. I want to see a little bit of what the plot is about. I did cover some stuff on the movie blog that might be of a little interest. They did announce some of the returning cast and some of the new cast members that are joining. So they sent me this press release. I didn't put everything up. I wasn't actually planning on promoting the movieblog.com on the movie blog YouTube channel. But since we're here now, some of the things that they mentioned is that there's going to be some returning cast. Let's see. The movie picks up 2 years after Gemma barely survived the first film's murderous rampage. She's now an author and leading a voice in the fight to regulate artificial intelligence. Meanwhile, her niece Katie is 14. She's got problems. It's happening. She's at that age. Um, some shady defense contractor thought it was a good idea to take Megan technology and build a military-grade infiltration weapon named Emilia. Emilia is going to be played by Ivana Sakno. Emilia is smarter, stronger, and far less obedient. Um, Realizing the world is in serious trouble, Gemma has only one choice: bring back Megan. But this is the same doll we met in 2023. She's got upgrades, she's got new abilities, and she's about to go toe to toe with a bigger, badder AI. It's going to have familiar faces: Allison Williams, Violet McGraw, Brian Jordan Alvarez, and Jan Van Epps, and new castmates: Aristotle Athari, Tim Sharp, and Jermaine Clement. So this film is coming out this year with a much bigger threat than Megan. So I kind of like this. It's almost like the mirror villain kind of thing, but a little bit different. We saw a little bit of this in the Terminator anime recently, but just reading that stuff, I couldn't help but think, man, this is like Wolverine versus Sabretooth. Like Wolverine's short ass going up against Sabretooth, like, I got you, pup. Like, this is going to be kind of cool like that. So I'm excited to see Megan go up against a bigger threat and see what direction they take this. What's in the box? Oh man, you mean my surprises. Not seeing Megan. The first Megan is fun. I would recommend it if you like horror that's got some humor to it. I would recommend it. My wife won't allow it in my house anymore, and my son got way too into The Exorcist, so my wife banned it. I'm sorry. Look, this is why we have smartphones. We go to work, we watch what we want to watch on the phone, and then we come home and we tell it never happened. It never happened. I've never seen that movie. All right, you're still part of the Frumley Dragnet. Megan versus Chat GPT, like Google, like Gemini versus Chat GPT. But what's the new one? There's another one. I forget. It's like a Chinese made one. I don't remember the name of it. But yeah, seems like it's going to be one of those. What else did I have for us? Where's my other tab for us? So aside from Megan, oh yeah, there's some more trailers. So let me get at the next trailer up. And these are just teasers, guys. So I'm going to power through these and you all let me know if there's anything in particular that you think is interesting or want to see again in the trailer. Otherwise, these are teaser trailers. There's going to be longer form trailers coming out this week leading up to the release of this, probably the Super Bowl. I remember before when I was a kid or younger that we had to wait for the commercials in the Super Bowl to see the trailer. Nowadays, studios have gotten into the habit of releasing the trailer online before the actual Super Bowl. So those of us who want to see it ahead of time, it's there. For those people who are, internet agnostic, they can watch it on TV. This one is for the new Jurassic World Rebirth. So I'm going to power through this one as well. Let me know what you guys think.
Oh my god.
That was it, right? You see a little bit of, look, there's a tail, and that's it. I'm sorry, y'all. Trailer Wednesday. So the trailer is coming. It's coming on Wednesday. And last but not least, this one is a little bit more interesting, and this one I could talk to a little bit more. Only because, I don't think I saw the last Jurassic World movie. I saw the second one. I can't tell you what happened in it, and then I was just not interested in the third one. No, I did see the third one. I did. That's bad. Oh man, I hope Universal don't see this. The next one I have here is the Fantastic Four First Step. Now, Marvel has been making a big deal about their trailer release for the Fantastic Four First Steps. This is probably one of the fastest Marvel productions I've ever seen. First off, right? Like I can talk about this movie. The movie started filming like last summer, and it's coming out this summer, which is wild for movies. Like usually they're like, this is going to take us 2 years. We got to work on effects. We got to do like actually filming like stopped like last month. And the way that Marvel's is films are usually VFX heavy, I don't feel good for those VFX workers. This is not sounding like it's the optimal amount of time to put together a blockbuster film. Hopefully they've changed their order of operations when it comes to things. Hopefully they've figured this how to do this without overworking those guys. But it feels weird. It feels weird at how quickly they're going from filming to release with the Fantastic Four movie. Like it was like Captain America stopped filming like a year ago or something, right? Like they did some reshoots, but didn't they initially film in like 2023, 2022? Like this is really fast. This is really, really fast. So they've been making a big deal about how the actual full trailer is going to release tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern on Good Morning America and ABC. ABC's Good Morning America, which is owned by parent company Disney. So if you haven't been watching Good Morning America, they're doing some great corporate synergy there because they're going to drive a lot of more viewers for Good Morning America tomorrow just to see this trailer. So here's the full teaser that they put out from it, which is actually kind of interesting. So I'll touch on it a little bit. There's some things to pick out from it, but I'm not going to be one of those YouTubers going there and drawing circles on my thumbnail and pointing arrows at things like this. This not today. But let me know what you guys think. Let's watch it together. Do I need to play it back? Did you guys see it? It was kind of short. It was 30 seconds, but we got a lot in that little bit of trailer. Now, something that Marvel's been promoting is the fact that, oh, hey, how about I do this, right? Marvel's been doing a big deal to promote the fact that this is going to be an alternate universe story. So, somehow they remembered that we're in the multiverse saga. They remembered this is a multiverse story that they're supposed to be telling. Fantastic Four may or may not be part of it. I don't know, but it's actually going to be a film that takes place in another universe outside of the main Marvel timeline, sacred timeline, what they're calling it. And it's going to be an alternate reality. Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Ben Grimm, and Johnny Storm. It's going to be an alternate reality present time, which is inspired by it's supposed to be like the Jetsons or something. It's supposed to be weird. It's like you're gonna have a hybrid of like Star Trek looking technology. It's going to look like what they thought the future was going to look like in the 60s. It's wild. So you're going to see weird things like older car designs, like here with this taxi. This taxi looks super old, but the kids are dressed in like, I don't know, what they think kids wore in the 60s, like, perfectly clean cut children running around in the 50s. Like, I don't know about you. At that age, my clothes was never that clean, but they're super clean. They're running through town. I guess this is a town where they didn't have issues with kids of different races interacting with each other. It's a little bit more idealism there. So I love that. And very multicultural here, very diverse. So some people might not like that. A lot of diversity in here. Might not sit well with people, but it's doing that. So that's another thing that people are going to probably talk about as we get closer to the release. They're going to realize that there's a lot of diversity in this. Somebody's going to have a problem with it not accurately reflecting what America looked like. And they'll probably attack this movie the same way they attack a lot of Disney movies. But this is an alternate reality history. So for anybody watching, you can be ambassadors, tell your friends from now. This is a comic book. This takes place in another universe. It's not trying to recreate actual history. But what we see here, aside from the cool amount of diversity, we see some information about the actual film itself. So we see a little hint of the Fantastic car down here, the car that the Fantastic Four uses. We see their spaceship that they use to go to space to get hit by maybe cosmic rays to become superheroes. I don't know. We have no idea if really what their origin is going to be, if it's going to be cosmic rays or any of that stuff that we've seen in the comics in the past, because Marvel doesn't necessarily follow or adhere to what they've done in the comics. They sometimes drift off and do something else. But we see some shots of that. Let me see, what else did we see here? There was something else in here I wanted to point out, but the Fantastic car, some of the space outfit they wear that looks like that's Johnny Storm there. But we get a really good feel for the aesthetics of the time. But yeah, this is the Fantastic Four teaser, 7 a.m. Eastern. Let me see what you guys are saying in the comments about some of these trailers. 50-50 on Jurassic Park. Too much franchise fatigue. Yeah, I feel you on that. You know what it is? I can't even say it's franchise fatigue. It's just too many movies that haven't been as impressive as the older films. The first Jurassic Park, amazing. Second Jurassic Park, I also like, not as amazing, but really, really good. The third one, acquired taste. I'll admit, acquired taste. I liked it. I was one of the people that did like it. I wish that we would have continued it, but it felt like that they didn't know what kind of story to tell other than try to make people be entertained by people running from dinosaurs. And you can easily forget that the story matters. The very first Jurassic Park film did really well because it seemed like a story was thought of. Like it was like a good 20 or 30 minutes into the movie before we saw dinosaurs. And then when we did see dinosaurs, we didn't get into the chase right away. Like it was a long time into the movie before things went off the rail. We started seeing archaeologists and introduced to them and that natural progression as to why they would be interested in visiting an island with living dinosaurs. It was so cool. These other movies are just random people who are like adjacent to those people and now we're getting stories about them. But it matters, man. Those stories matter. And if you're not giving me a compelling reason to believe why these characters are in this circumstance or an interesting reason, I kind of check out. I'm not invested into the humans or their survival. And bringing back the original cast wasn't enough because even their inclusion in that film wasn't as compelling as their introduction. Not enough of a trailer for the Jurassic movie. Yeah, we need more. Like we got Scarlett Johansson, right? That's really what they want people to know. We've got one of the Avengers in here. Watch me. Right? Like, Jurassic Park will live forever. Families like dinosaurs. We'll see. I don't really keep track of the box office of these films, but I'm imagining that they sell a lot of toys. The problem is that it's all the same. People dropped on an island or in a park, a huge tract of land, and they mess with dinosaurs. They escape and try to eat everyone. Yes, I need more than that. I need something a little bit more compelling. Yeah, I do like the way that they try to show how the government is reinventing their need for dinosaurs or why all these third-party companies might be interested in utilizing or thinking they can contain the dinosaurs better. But I need more than that. Honestly, I need more than that. Maybe at this point, they need to take me to an alternate reality. I don't know. They need to do something else. Let's see what else. Not sure if you noticed, we don't get Good Morning America in Australia. Oh. What about the ABC 7 app on Fire TV? Maybe you get that, because usually I watch stuff like I don't have an antenna. I don't have cable anymore. I watch all of my stuff on the apps, so I watch it on the ABC 7 app. Maybe that might be a way to watch it. Let me know if that works. But we also have one ABC Live, and they show a lot of stuff. So to recon trailer, the new FF will be set in 1972 USA with the space race. Yes. We'll see how that works out. Does it have Jessica Alba in it? No. It has what's her name? It's got a Vanessa Kirby. Vanessa Kirby is is a solid choice, I think. For those of you not sure what Vanessa Kirby looks like, this is Vanessa Kirby. She is going to be playing the new Sue Storm. She's the one that is going to be making kissy faces with Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards. Oh man. And you know what? I can't even lie. Most people were sitting here like, man, I can't wait to see, the Fantastic Four take on Doctor Doom. No, I can't wait to see Namor take Vanessa Kirby from Reed Richards, from Pedro Pascal. Like, that Latino heat is about to turn up. Like, it's going to be a real interesting series of events. Everybody's talking about the Doctor Doom. I need to see Namor see Sue Storm and be like, hey, like, I need that moment. I need it if nobody else needs it. But I'm excited for the teaser trailers. They're out there. They're looking pretty cool. What else we got? I do have some more. Man, it would be helpful if these tabs would stay where I put them. You wouldn't think I had like 3 or 4 screens, right? Let me close some of these tabs. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so for those of you who are not aware, let me share this here. Window. Our boy Harold Perrineau from the From Show, Fromly, our very own Boyd Stevens, is up for an award. Yeah, he's up for an actual award for portraying the character Boyd Stevens in From. And it's huge, right? It's really huge. It's not just any award. This is the NAACP Image Awards. It's a major celebration of the achievements of Black artists in film, television, music, and literature. These awards have been around since 1967. They're really a good testament to the power of representation in entertainment. This year's nominees include Harold being nominated for Outstanding Actor in a Drama Series for From on MGM Plus. Now, that's a tough category, right? That's a really, really tough category. It's tough to get nominated, and it's also tough to win. Harold's got some serious competition. So in this category, in the NAACP Image Awards, he's got competition in the form of Aldous Hodge for Cross. He's got Donald Glover for Mr. and Mrs. Smith. He's got Jabari Banks for Bel Air. And he's got Michael Rainey Jr. for Power Book 2, Ghost. So it's going to be an interesting category. It's going to be an interesting year to see who wins out. Now, the fact that From is even nominated, like most of these shows, average people have heard of, right? Average people have heard of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the TV show. Whether they watched it or not, they've at least probably heard it in passing. Cross, yeah. Bel Air, maybe not the new iteration, but they know about the original one with Will Smith. And Power, everybody's at least heard of Power. From is one of those shows that we know that people only find out when we're the ambassadors, when they hear about us talking about it and asking them to do the From Challenge. So for it to be even nominated is a major achievement. So I need you all to do me a favor, right? The other day I went ahead and I posted this on the channel under posts where you can go and actually vote. You can vote. You watching right now, you can vote. This is a category that's open to the public. Fans can vote for their favorite to win in this category. I want you to go to the movie blog YouTube channel. I actually have it in the description too. If you look down in the description, there's a link to this post. You can go here, click on the link, scroll down to Outstanding Actor in a Drama Series, select the actor that you want to vote for, Harold. Scroll down, go back to the main page and back to main categories and vote. You can even vote for any other categories you might be interested in seeing a winner for. You can go through them, see who the nominees are. You can vote. But just remember to go back when you're done and click cast my vote. That's the important part. You're going to see a screen that's going to confirm for you to cast your vote. But go ahead, let's show our support. Give our man Harold all the support that he deserves for winning this and hopefully win this award. I think he deserves it. I think he's been excellent in the role of Boyd, and I'm happy to at least see him not acknowledged with the nomination. But I think he should go home with the win. But let me know what you all think about this one. Frankie, I voted online. I hope we all did. He deserves it. Yeah. That's I think he deserves it. Dragnet, he's going against Childish Gambino. It's going to be tight. Yes, it is. This is not an easy category to win. Aldous Hodge has gotten a lot of support online with people petitioning for him to take on the role of Black Panther, T'Challa. Childish Gambino is a Grammy-winning artist. Like he's done a lot. Jabari Banks and Michael Rainey Jr. are making names for themselves with the younger crowds, and those are the ones who are chronically online who might actually vote for them to win those in this category as well. So Harold, he deserves all the support we can give him. I think we should give him the support. You can definitely click the link in the description, head over to our post, and submit your vote. What else we got here? Are we gonna get into it now? Oh, there's one more thing. Before I get into the drama, because we got to get into the drama. I don't know if you guys saw this over the weekend. Oh, not that one. From won an award over the weekend. Like most people had their eyes fixed on the Grammys. It was just like, oh, Grammys. Oh, Kendrick, man. They not like us. They not like it's hard to not get swept up in what was going on in music with Beyonce winning album of the year finally. But over the weekend, what also happened is From won the Saturn Award for Best Horror Television Series. Harold was there, John Griffin was there, Jack Bender was there, Jeff Pinkner was there, Liz Saunders was there. Everybody, look, the Frumley was out. So the Saturn Awards are a really cool award show. I think they deserved an Emmy, at least a nomination, but they weren't in that one. But they did get an award that they deserved with the Saturn Award. So I think that they should take it. Again, all of this is helping them get more mainstream attention, right? We already know that we're not seeing commercials for this, right? We already know that the only way new people find out about this show is through us telling our friends, right? A Saturn Award is just a little bit more to help them get more mainstream acknowledgement and attention going into their fourth season. For all we know, this is going to end up like Suits, like when the show's over and it finally hits Netflix and people are like, well, what the hell is this show called From? 20 years later, like, oh man, it might have the Suits effect if you guys have seen what happened with Suits on Netflix. But it won. John Griffin posted about it. He was very excited. If you guys don't follow John Griffin on Twitter, I do. It's not super eventful here. I got it for you guys. It's like me and the 2,080 other people. But he posted about it. He was there. He was super. He even kept the envelope. Look, like that is pride right there. Like super excited. Like from concept to paper to filming to release to award. Congratulations, John Griffin, man. You, Jeff Pinkner, Jack Bender, the whole cast, you all deserve it. You guys need to be celebrated. Hopefully we can see more of this in the future. What are you guys saying about this one? You just voted. Thank you, Dragnet. I appreciate you for voting. Man does not get enough love. Harold deserves way more love than he's getting. He's such an outstanding actor. I even saw him in a short film recently, The Distinguished. I talked about it with the Blerds. We have an interview with the director and the principal cast for the short film, The Distinguished, which is like a super cool, magical, like, man, it seems like a more mature Harry Potter. So I'm excited for it. The short film is out for that. And Harold was in it. Harold was like a pleasant surprise. So Harold deserves all the flowers he can get. He's getting more opportunities. I hope he's getting the money. But yeah. Which Dragnet says is equivalent to a Kids' Choice Award. Yeah, but it's attention. You know, you got to start somewhere. You start off with a Saturn, and then you get yourself a Porsche. Work your way up, right? Um, let's go from right. Claim those accolades. Yes. They're trying to bring back Suits with Meghan Markle again. She wasn't my favorite actress in the show, but she whatever. How was your interview with Ryan Coogler last week? So I didn't get to talk to him. It was like a Q&A. It was like more of a press conference, and the person who moderated the press conference was this live streamer called Straw Hat Goofy. You guys might have heard of him. And I can't show anything from it, but I did post something about it on the movie blog. Where did I put it? It might be a little old now. So I did write up my take on the Q&A. I put some quotes in here. If you want to have a nice little read when you got some downtime on your phone, I like to read this stuff when I'm in the subway, honestly. Like in between train stations, I'm loading another page, listening to some music. This is usually when I read stuff like this. But I have it up on the movieblog.com. I'll drop a link in the comments if you are interested. And let me see how to do this only on YouTube, because the Twitter people be like, what? I didn't want that. There we go. But yeah, that is it was a cool eye-opening thing. I think one of the main things that I took in away from it is just how collaborative directors are with each other behind the scenes. So I remember Ryan Coogler was just casually talking about how he I wanted to say he consulted, but he talked to Christopher Nolan, and they were talking about the movie that he was making. And I was just like, wait, what? You spoke with Christopher Nolan about your movie? Like, you know, Chris? He's like, and that was the funny part, because he didn't even say Christopher Nolan. He was like, yeah, you know, I was just talking to Chris, and Chris was like, you should do like this, or you should do like that. And Straw Hat Goofy had to stop him, like, wait, Chris who? Oh, you know, Nolan. You know, because you know how like Ryan Coogler talk, he'd sound like Ice Cube, but like ice in his mouth. Like, you know, he's got a little bit, he's got that thick LA accent. So yeah, it was a cool little eye-opening listen to hear about that, to hear about Sinners. One of the things I don't want to ruin though is that one of the things he said. So I'm gonna try to tease it without spoiling it, because I think what he said almost was borderline spoiler. But I'm gonna say this. He wanted folks to know that this is not just a movie about vampires. Just think about that. I'm gonna leave you out with that. It's not a movie about just vampires. So there you go. Let me see what else we got. Oh, let's get into it right now. Let's get into the tea. We're going to talk a little bit about this Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively stuff. Let me go ahead. Let me switch this over. Oh, did I not? I had that. So, without further ado, let me try to do this for everyone who's just now checking out this channel at this point. And if you're just not aware of everything that's going on. So, gather around as we dive into this Hollywood tea that's hotter than some Sean Evans chicken, right? The Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni kerfuffle. It's actually getting spicier by the minute. It's a tale of drama, lawsuits, and enough plot twists to make M. Night Shyamalan jealous. The story begins on the set of It Ends With Us, right? It was a romantic drama that ironically seems to have ignited more off-screen drama than on. Blake Lively, who's our leading lady, filed a complaint with the California Civil Rights Department in December 2024. The complaint alleges that director and co-star Justin Baldoni engaged in some unscripted and unwanted improvisations, like surprise kisses and off-color comments that just threw her off her guard. According to Lively, Baldoni's behavior created a hostile work environment, making it less La La Land and more Nightmare on Elm Street. Then there's some gossip about how Baldoni and his family were handled in a weird way at the premiere of the film. It's noticeable when you look at like photos from the premiere that they weren't in any photos together. But things just level up from there. They just level up from there. Baldoni, there's this interview that Baldoni did with Extra where he seemingly speaks positively about Lively and refers to her as a creative force. I have the interview here. When you see him, you couldn't tell that anything was wrong. I'm gonna give you guys the link to the. Well, you know what? Let me play it with you guys, right? Because let's give this some context.
Friends are incapable of murder.
They're my family.
Congratulations, we do. Look at, first of all, the brooch, everything is on point.
I can't claim any of it. I was dressed by wonderful women.
Oh my god, and you look amazing. I'm gonna bring you a little closer because I'm starting to get snagged.
Okay.
You have made it happen. I mean, this was no easy feat. It is a beloved book from the beginning till right now at the end. How does it feel to take that all in?
I'm a little speechless. It feels very surreal. I probably should have like gathered myself before I stepped on the carpet and took all of this in. I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to Colleen for trusting me, for writing such a beautiful book. I'm grateful to her mother for allowing it to happen, because really this was in honor of her mom. And I'm grateful to Blake for just being a powerhouse of a performer and an amazing collaborator, and just all the people, the crew. My wife. None of this would have happened without my wife, who did that invisible work of being with the children while I was able to make this movie that doesn't get celebrated nearly enough. And I don't know, I'm just kind of speechless, and I'm just excited for it to be released in the world.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a village, like you said. This is a family affair for you as well. Did I see your dad as well here?
My dad and my mom are here. My aunt, my uncle who never shows up to anything. He's never even been to New York. And my cousin who just lost her husband. And this is a family affair. And my best friends are here. And, I think all of us it just took a village to make this film. And I feel loved and supported and grateful.
No, as you should. I mean, it all started with a letter that Colleen received from you.
Yeah.
That message must have been so heartfelt. What do you think was
Now, we're not going to play the whole thing. I'll definitely put the link in the comments for you guys so you can check it out. But you would never tell that there was anything going on just by listening to that interview, right? He called, he said that she was a creative powerhouse, right? He actually spoke highly of Blake Lively in that interview. But again, it's noticeable that they didn't appear in any photos together on the red carpet. There's this interview. And there's more. There's more. According to reports, Justin Baldoni and his family were treated completely differently. So Baldoni came in with his family, they walked the carpet, and then Lively and Ryan Reynolds, and I think even Hugh Jackman was there, came later. I wish I was invited to this red carpet. I don't get invited to enough red carpets, but that trio came later. And when they came, the news reports were showing that Baldoni and his family, like, they weren't just taken right into the theater to go have a seat and watch the movie. Like, they were ushered to go downstairs in like the basement of the building. And there's photos online of them like sitting with water bottles and posing and doing all sorts of wild stuff that you normally would not see at a red carpet. Now, I've been to a couple of red carpets. And I promise you, the way that they typically treat talent, you ever hear the expression white glove service? Right, like Jeffrey in the Fresh Prince or Mr. Belvedere, white gloves, or Alfred in Batman, like white glove service. Like, I have to make sure you're treated so well. Everything is handed to you on a pedestal. That is typically the approach that film studios have toward their talent when they're walking through the red carpet and when they're at a premiere. Like, everything is taken care for them. It's wild when you look online and you see photos of his family, like sitting in like a basement. So there's this let me see if I can pull it up. This was on the New York Post website where they show photos. Look at them. Check this out. Like, this is unreal to me. Well, not unreal, but this is just shocking. Like, I've never seen, like, this is clearly where they were like putting together the popcorn and sodas to give to people at the event. Like, this is where the crew is supposed to be cleaning and preparing things behind the scenes. This isn't usually where you have your talent at. And they're like being all, I don't know, nice about it a little bit, because they definitely are sitting here with smiles on their faces, being lighthearted about it. He's talking about how his dad was there, his uncle was there, his grieving cousin was there. Like, people he wouldn't normally see were there. They're in the basement taking these photos with water bottles and popcorn in the background. There was like another photo too, where you see after a while, they just make a joke of it and are posing with the water bottles. They're like, all right, you know, we're down here. Let's have some fun with it. You know, I don't know. I just, and you could tell this was his first red carpet. He's not used to this. He was just making light of it. Because I promise you, certain people who walk a carpet would never happen. This right here would never happen. So it was just such an wild experience that they had at the red carpet that just exasperates what is happening with these two. Now, it goes further because the lawsuits. Oh man, the lawsuits. So Blake, whew, so Blake, like I said, has filed that complaint with the California Civil Rights Department back in December. And Baldoni, you know, not taking this lightly, assembled a team to help respond. And things just continue to level up from here. Allegedly, there's documents obtained by Lively and her team that suggest a coordinated effort to discredit her across media platforms. That's wild. Like, they made a plan to smear her name across social media, and this is all from something that was supposed to be a love story, and now it's a legal thriller. Like, this is where we are now. So Lively is suing Baldoni for sexual harassment and defamation. She's seeking $250 million. I don't even know if Baldoni's got that. $250 million? Not to be outdone, Baldoni is countersuing Lively and her husband and their publicist for a whopping $400 million. Now, we know that Reynolds has it. He's got those pockets. But he's accusing them of defamation and extortion. It's really it's like a high stake poker game, but there's more lawyers and no poker. Like, it's wild the numbers that they're hurling at each other. Adding another twist, Baldoni went as far as to create this website. He created a whole website. Let me get it up for us. It doesn't have anything except lawsuit info. Lawsuitinfo.com. Now, this is a massive doc. This thing goes into heavy detail about this is the full complaint. Now, the full complaint is 224 pages. I promise you, I didn't read all of this. I did not. There's way too much going on in here. There's text messages going back and forth between the two. And with Ryan Reynolds, there's things that are being used as evidence. This is stuff that's being aired out very publicly so that by the time they get to court, people are going to have drawn their own conclusions. This is getting wilder and wilder. And this is really the motivation for me to actually talk about it tonight. The fact that they have so much damning evidence on this website. It's like it's insane the amount of stuff that's up here. And this is just the first PDF. This is just the amended complaint. He actually put together a timeline of all of the events, spelling it out. Like he had time. Screenshots of text messages, notes. It's wild how much stuff is in here. So this lawsuit is growing. It's growing. It's I'm at a loss for words because I just don't normally see stuff like this. I just know, like, a lot of times we have public drama, we don't have the receipts uploaded for us to check out, right? When we see text messages between celebrities, it's still like a rare Pokemon sighting. It's like Venusaur. Like, you just don't know. You're just not ready for it. But yeah, this is a lot of information that's being uploaded online. I'm really curious to see what people think about it, what people's reactions are going to be about it, because this is definitely at this point with the case not scheduled till March 2026. This is just going to be a court of public opinion type deal right now. The website is a lot. It's a lot. If you guys have gone through it, if you guys have any information that you want to chat about in it, let me know in the comments. But the messages, they paint a picture of a from what I saw, like a previously friendly relationship. There were conversations about scene rewrites, some playful banter. It was really, really warm and nice at the beginning. But it's also like reading the script of a buddy comedy that takes a dark turn. It just goes downhill. As of now, both parties are gearing up for the legal battle, March 2026. In the meantime, like I said, the court of public opinion is in session. Fans and critics alike are going to be dissecting every development from now until March, hanging on every word. It honestly, I can't wait for the next episode. I'm like, when is it going to release? Is this going to be like a weekly release? Are we going to get more information in 7 days? I'm excited to see it. But yeah, that is the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively situation. Let me see what you guys are saying about this. Is he nice pool? Maybe he might be. Right, because there's allegations that Ryan Reynolds based the character Nice Pool off of Justin Baldoni. Apparently, he's supposed to be a riff on him in looks and behavior. You tell me if you think that there's some similarities between the two. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I'll tell you this. Nice Pool. I don't remember Nice Pool being in the comics. Not until this movie came out. I don't remember Nice Pool being in the comics at all. But now we have a Nice Pool that I think was created for the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, coinciding with this, right? The Deadpool and Wolverine premieres were like a week apart. Like, I was actually in Manhattan during the Wolverine premiere, and yeah, they did the same thing at the same venue like a week later with the same people. Let's see. You know, Times are getting sued for it as well. Yeah, why not? Everybody's getting sued. Anybody could lodge a complaint. That's all suing is. I'm just complaining about you and want a judge to hear it. Lively's team was the one who started the smear campaign. Okay. I I'm just here. I'm just here with popcorn, watching it all go down. I have no idea who started it, but I'm just entertained at this point. Um, just so I get this, an entitled female accuses one of the nicest people in Hollywood. Her husband portrays him in this film. Look, I don't know what people are like off camera. You know, I don't. Some of the people that appear as the nicest people on camera be some of the darkest people off camera. So I don't know. And I'm sorry, I'm a little messed up because I just saw the movie Blink Twice, where Channing Tatum looked like such a nice guy who did dark things in that movie. So I'm a little my trust is on paper thin right now. Skating on ice over here, buddy. Baldoni knowing how the system works went on an attack. Maybe. I don't hey, I don't know who started this fight, right? But we need to see who finishes it. Let's see. All the information on the website is publicly available. Yeah, you could definitely see any information about a court case that's filed. They make it public information. It's the text messages that's add some seasoning to it. This has been wild for over. Yeah, listen, I was not checking for this. Like, I was like mildly concerned, but now I'm like in it in a Jerry Springer sort of way. I just want to see who wins the fight. But I'm not invested in either one. I honestly have no personal like, oh, this one's innocent. Oh, they're smearing him. I don't. I'm not that invested in Ryan Reynolds. I'm not that invested in Baldoni. I'm not that invested in Blake Lively. Neither one of these people are like somebody I'm like championing for here. I'm just here to just see the drama unfold. But yeah, I am late. I wasn't checking for it. I think Dragnet was hitting me up on Patreon and he kept asking me to read more about it. And I took some time and I read about it. And I was like, this is kind of interesting. And then I started seeing headlines about it. I'm like, whoa, maybe I should talk about it. See, Dragnet's been telling me this for a while. Sorry you've had to do it alone. This just came up on my feed. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. I was assuming he was going to talk about Deadpool. I should have talked to. What do you mean? Oh, because I normally talk about Marvel. What's the next topic? Oh, we ready to move on? Okay. New Predator movie in the works. Yes. So there is a new Predator movie in the works. The next topic I had was this one. So I'm going to talk about this quickly, right? And then I'm going to move on because I just don't want to give it too much of my time. So, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to watch Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. And I'm going to tell you why. There's a couple reasons. One, I don't have Disney Plus. I have a lot of subscriptions. Disney Plus is not one of them. I don't have Disney Plus, so I don't have access to the show. That's the first obstacle in my way. Second obstacle, Disney is really selective with access to things like screeners ahead of release. I've seen online other critics talk about it, other content creators like YouTubers. I've even seen television producers and people who are on television talk about it on threads. Like, I can't get access with Disney no more. I don't know what's going on. They're very, very, very selective. There's like maybe 10 people in the world who get stuff from Disney before release for Disney Plus. I could be exaggerating, but I imagine it's like 10, no more than 20. It's a very, very, very small circle. So I don't have access to it early. I don't have Disney Plus. But then in addition to that, there's this comment from the star of the show. What's his name? Thames, right? So the voice actor for the show came out recently and said some comments, right? Hudson Thames, that's his name, Hudson Thames. This guy. All right. It's hard for me to figure out where to start, right? I want to dive into it, but it's hard for me to figure out where to start, right? Like, we're talking about Spider-Man, right? That's the friendly neighborhood superhero who's supposed to be all about responsibility and saving the day. But this voice actor, I feel like he could use a lesson in both. Now, we all know that Spider-Man's whole thing is about with great power comes great responsibility. Apparently with some sarcasm too, because Hudson Thames, the voice of Spider-Man in the new animated series Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, has caught everyone's attention. He's been making some waves, and not the kind that come from swinging through the city. Apparently he's made some comments that haven't sat well with Spider-Man faithful fans. He's not giving off friendly neighborhood vibes. So there's talk about how he's been less than enthusiastic about the show, maybe a little dismissive. But here's the thing about that has caught everyone's attention. He recently did this interview, right, where he sat down with, it might have even been for Collider here. Yeah, he sat with Collider's Mike Thomas and sat down for a chat with Thames. And he was asked what it was like having a chance for a fresh take on Spider-Man in a world featuring characters never before seen in the MCU, like Norman Osborn, Lonnie Lincoln, and his answer was shocking. And I'll give this writer credit because Adam Blevins and Collider and the whole group, they even painted it a certain way because, like, I don't think they was with the way that they didn't agree with the comment. I don't think they agreed with the comment. But Hudson Thames said, "Hey, I thought the show was awesome. I mean, my biggest fear was that it was going to be annoying and woke, and it wasn't." And I was like, yes, this is great. It's so well written. Like, it feels real. I'm the oldest of 5 boys, so I feel like I kind of know what's happening in their lives and in high school, and it felt like it was doing that justice. So I recently talked about this while on with the new Blerd Order. And rather than repeating everything that I said, I feel like I would be doing you better justice if you just kind of checked out what I said. And I have a behind the scenes commercial free version of it that I can share with you guys. So you don't have to hear me repeat everything over. So let me go ahead and put this on the screen. And I think I talk a little bit about Anthony Mackie in this too. So let's check it out. All right, what layout do I want? There we go.
Mr. Captain America was propaganda in the beginning. What say you, my friend? What's your take?
Well, it's a lot of things. You got to take into consideration the actual source material. What Anthony Mackie says echoed what Steve Rogers often said in the comics. He would often go against the system. He would often have issues with his government and their decisions, and moved on to the belief that Captain America stood for the idealism of America as opposed to the nation itself. So I don't think he said anything wrong. I think Chris Evans used to say the same thing and still does. Like he says a lot of the same views or has some of the same opinions that Mackie is talking about right now. And that outrage didn't come out then. It's just that now we're in a climate, we're in an environment, we're in a situation where some folks have feelings that they're looking for ways to justify letting out. And Anthony Mackie got picked today. I'm not watching it.
Me either.
Yeah.
I'm not watching, straight up, because like a lot of people could think of whatever they want as far as the term woke and all this, and everybody lands on different sides of the fence. I think somebody's in our comments saying "go woke, go broke," like they don't know what they're watching.
Yeah, we know what that is.
There's so many different things that I could say about it. But one thing that really always bothers me about this term is that it was co-opted. It
100%.
really breaks my heart every single time I see this word used in this way, because I know growing up, it was only used in like people in the Black community. Honestly, it was really only used in the Black community, and it was supposed to be like, hey, I'm socially aware of injustices that are happening around us, and I want you to stay socially aware of injustices that are happening around us. And now when I see this, I see people who are saying, if you are socially aware of injustices that are happening to Black people, and that's something that you think is important, you're going to go broke. Right? Like, we're not going to support that. We're not giving that money. And that doesn't sit well with me, because I'm the product of my environment, right? Like, I have to train my children. I have to teach my sons on how to, get pulled over by police, right? I have to sit there and have that talk with them. I have to tell them how to address them. Some of us even go as far as to understand how to read their title and based on the stripes or the type of badge they have on. I hate when I see this word co-opted and used in this way. I hate when I see people who express a certain level of, I can't even say it's bigotry, because it could just be ignorance. Honestly, it still could just be ignorance, because some people just may not have either heard that definition and then they just repeating learned behavior that somebody else taught them. I was watching something the other day. I don't know if it was on like Instagram or if it was on YouTube, but there was this like this young man who was sitting there talking about how when he was growing up in his small town, in his school, he was bullied. And I don't know about y'all, but every once in a while we see what bullying looks like for little boys in small towns. Those kids are vicious. You might get cut, you might get beat up, you might get stomped out, you might get spit on, you might get embarrassed in front of your peers. They are mean-spirited children. And he talked about how like he had to deal with that up until he reached like junior high or high school. And then when he reached high school, he was able to find a crowd of people who were willing to accept him. But take him from being the bottom in his social hierarchy to putting someone else's bottom. Like, these people are stealing our jobs. Oh, these people are invading our territory. Oh, these people are thugs. And now we could talk about them being bottom. I'm no longer bottom. So whether or not that these are things they actually believe, now they're learning to adopt it because it's preventing him from being bullied and picked on by the kids that tortured him for years. He's finding relief. He's finding escape. He's going through a mental health situation. Right? So, like, now that he is older and he's actually not subjecting himself just to local media, because local media will only show you the perspective they want you to see based off of your region and where the voting lines are. Now that he's older and he's actually made himself more worldly aware, he's traveled, he's seen the news in New York versus the news in Kentucky. He's making more different decisions. He's like, wait, maybe I was wrong. Hey, maybe I was this. Maybe I was just ill-informed. So I see this so many different ways, and I just feel hurt that they're co-opting our word and manipulating some people to do things that they normally wouldn't do. And then I also am really upset at the bigots who are just using whatever opportunity they can to share their, mean, horrible, disgusting opinions of other people. But I'm still not watching. And that pretty much sums up my feelings on the Hudson Thames situation. I honestly feel that I feel bad when I see young people have strong opinions, because I think that there's a lot of life experience that can happen that can change them. But yeah, I did want to share my thoughts on that. I did see a couple comments on this. Let's see. Out of interest, do the 10 people that Disney have selected ever give any negative reviews of Disney stuff? I don't know. I noticed the other day there was a post online saying it premiered at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I was like, 100%, man, that's really good. That's really, really good. Let me go check it out. And I look at it on Rotten Tomatoes, and it was like 100% out of 6 reviews, and I was like, 6 reviews gave it 100. Yeah, public opinion is going to look. It's not going to be a good look to the public. It's not going to be a good look to the public when you only have 6 reviewers getting access to stuff and they're giving you 100%. That's just going to be it's going to be scrutinized. It's absolutely going to be scrutinized because people are going to think that it is. People are going to have wild opinions, like I'm sure you're insinuating there. But yeah, it's a choice by Disney. I don't know. I know when they do films, they tend to open it up to more folks. Like I'm going to be able to see the Captain America movie when it releases I think it releases in 2 weeks, but I think I see it next week, next Wednesday. I'm going to be able to check it out. So there's that. People have been really upset about this Captain America comment, and I actually found the comment. Dang it, I gotta switch browsers so you guys can hear it. But it was in response to something Anthony Mackie said about America, which was again, it was interesting. It was interesting at the way. At the response that it got. So let me just play his comment real quick for anybody who hasn't yet
For me,
heard
Captain
it.
America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations. Like it's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity. Someone who is trustworthy and dependable. It's kind of, this is kind of like an aspect of a dream coming true. When I was a kid, all of us as actors, I believe, want to get back to that day before someone told you no. When you look out your door and you see a 5-year-old kid with a stick and he's slaying dragons to save the princess in the tower, that kid really believes there are dragons out there. That stick is really a sword and he's really trying to save that princess. And then one day somebody told him, no, there are no dragons. That's not a sword. And that princess is not there. And all of his little dreams were dashed. So, as an actor, I feel like our job is to get back to the day where we see that dragon and we slay that dragon to save that princess. And that's kind of what this movie was for me.
So, first off, I thought the whole reaction was, I thought it was a lot. I thought it was a lot more considering the context of what he was saying about how the character of Captain America stands for more than America. Especially because I'm a comic book fan, so reading a lot of the comics, like my interpretation of Captain America is probably different than people who are looking at Captain America at just the symbol or just the character. Like there's still some people out there who don't know that, Superman is what planet Superman is from. They know he's an alien. They don't know what planet he's from. So they only look at comics from like a very, very high surface level. So I know when I saw this, I went on Twitter and I commented immediately. This is going to ruffle feathers, but it echoes what Steve Rogers has been saying in the comics about Captain America for decades. It does. Like he often went at odds with his government. Some people even know, like Steve Rogers just straight up abandoned the mantle of Captain America because of a disagreement he had with the government. He went by the character Nomad. When we saw it in the Avengers films, he was constantly giving the government lip. He was constantly clapping back at them. Like, oh, aren't you going to sign the Sokovia Accords and side with your government? And he's like, when is the government, when has this government stood for the same things I stand for? And he clapped back often. That was the whole thing with Civil War. He was disobeying. And then he left his star off. He ripped his star off his chest, went around as a Captain America without a star, and that started in Infinity War. And even when he was offering the country help, he was clapping back again. Going so far, I even posted this image from the comics where it's like you can see it. This is an old comic. This is an old comic. I'm gonna take some time to read it to you though. So I hope you got 60 seconds for me to read this. It's story time, everybody. Steve is like, listen to me, all of you out there. You were told by this man, your hero, that America is the greatest country in the world. He told you that Americans were the greatest people, that America could be refined like silver, could have the impurities hammered out of it, and shine more brightly. He went on about how precious America was, how you needed to make sure it remained great. And he told you anything was justified to preserve that great treasure, that pearl of great price that is America. Well, I say America is nothing without its ideals, its commitment to the freedom of all men. Without that, America is a piece of trash. A nation is nothing. A flag is a piece of cloth. He talks about how he fought beside Adolf. He fought Adolf Hitler, not because America was great, but because it was fragile. He knew that liberty could as easily be snuffed out here as in Nazi Germany. As a people, we are no different from them. When he returned, he saw that you nearly did turn America into nothing. And the only reason you're not less than nothing is that it's still possible for you to bring freedom back to America. I read, and you would think, based off of the words that were used, that this was written like within the last 10 years. It's not. This is a really old comic panel. So I've always known Steve Rogers, like from the time I got in the comics, he was always mouthing off at the government. He's like, yo, y'all not really representing the same things that I'm representing. I'm going to wear this flag because I believe in the ideals that I think America promises to be, but it hasn't just kept its promise yet. So when Anthony Mackie said what he said about it should stand for everything but America, this is what I thought he was referring to. I was like, oh, he's talking like he's been reading the comics, like Steve doesn't stand for that. And even Chris Evans was like that. He was saying the same stuff when he was taking on the mantle of Captain America throughout the films. But the reaction that people have had to Anthony Mackie saying this is surprising to me, especially because this is what the character always says. Like, it's like Spider-Man not shooting webs. It's like this Captain America is saying he doesn't stand for America, but what he thinks the ideal of America. This is part of his character. So for people to get upset is like mind-boggling to me. Like, who are we talking about? Are we talking about the same character? Anyway, I went off. I went off. I'm sorry, y'all. I went off. Look, y'all told me I could talk about anything, that this was a safe place. I went off. Mark Vals, you went crazy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know some of y'all's like, are we going to talk about the front theory? I'm sorry. Look, this is some of the stuff that happened. I feel passionate about it. I think some of you like to hear what I'm passionate about. And sometimes you guys are passionate about it too. This is also a safe place, I think, for people to have opinions. If you have differing opinions, if you have supporting opinions, let's talk about it. I don't want to condemn anyone for their point of view. Like I said, I think my point of view is based off of my lived experience, and someone else's point of view is based off of their lived experience. And this is how we come to an understanding with one another in order to share this world, right? I have to understand your point of view in order for me to get you, in order for us to figure out how we could cohabit this place, right? So I definitely am open to people. If you have opinions, I know this is a controversial kind of thing to talk about, but if you're feeling comfortable, let me know here or in the comments. I'm going to be checking the comments for this video for a while. Let me know what you guys think. Let's see, where are we going? People who think woke is bad just don't understand life. I wonder what people's first definition of the word woke is, right? That's my first thing. What is the first time you heard the term woke, and what did it mean at that time? Because without us having context of that, it's going to set us, because we could be miscommunicating. We could just be missing each other, right? Like I know my definition of the term woke with the way I was introduced to it, and maybe somebody was introduced to it a different way, and we could just be miscommunicating using the same term. I work in corporate. It happens a lot, right? People would be flying around the same acronyms, but they mean different things to different departments. So let me know what that means to you so we can have the conversation. Go woke, go broke is ironically enough true. I don't know. You know, there's a lot of it depends on your definition of the word woke, right? There's a lot of movies, like I said, if I go by my definition, it's socially aware of injustices that happen around people. There's a lot of movies that are extremely successful that talk about social injustices to people. However, if it means something else, you know, let me know what was the first definition. And so we can have the conversation and we could make sure we're using the same, you know, we're communicating properly. Because again, I work in corporate, people use acronyms in different departments. Sometimes that acronym means one thing and another department means something else. So I think a big part of this that's causing heads to butt in these conversations is that I think people have different definitions. Debbie, thank you so much for recommending Sever. I've been watching season 1, last 2 more to go. Oh man. So I got to the end of the first episode and then I started watching Paradise and I got distracted. So if it's that good, all right. I keep hearing like everybody tells me like this is a show I should be covering. That's how good it is, but we'll see. They'll change his name from Captain America to Captain Earth. They changed it to Nomad. He was a man without land, right? Nomad, a man without a country, but still fighting the good fight. So that's what Steve Rogers wanted to do. He went by Nomad for a long time, but then people started co-opting the identity of Captain America and using it in ways that he didn't like, so he had to come back. It already is a Captain Planet. He's a hero, gonna take pollution down to zero. He's the power magnified, and he's fighting on the planet side. You'll pay for this, Captain Planet. Actually, it's my Green Lantern ring. My Green Lantern ring and my Rob Corps ring, because I'm a member of the Comics Explained Rob Corps. Let me see what else. He got dragged for that. Yeah, he got dragged for that. He got dragged. It got bad. It got real bad. We're in an era of Twitter, Instagram, X. Everyone has an opinion and can voice it. It's all BS, really. That's crazy. Can't even say aspirational stuff anymore without someone claiming they were being attacked by what was said. This is the world. I'm with you, KS. I'm with you. I don't hear any of this stuff, and I don't have a Twitter, Instagram, never have. This is cool. But there's enough of the world's population that does see this stuff on Twitter and Instagram. I appreciate your perspective, your view on it, but it's almost like a voting population, right? Like if you have enough people who see it on this other thing, it affects things still, right? Like, so I respect you. I respect you saying that, you don't have Twitter, Instagram, or any of that stuff. I have it because it's a good place. I have it for reasons. I have it. I like it, but not everybody does. Well, to be fair, it's Captain America because, he represents America. I wouldn't want someone from America representing me. His name is Captain America, again, because of the ideals he thought America stood for when he had originally enlisted. And he was a naive child when he enlisted. He was like 16 or 17. He wasn't old enough to join the army. But he was somebody who was bullied, who was tired of being bottom. And because he was able to join the army, he knew the Nazis would be the bottom and he would no longer be, or his hopes were, I imagine, was that he wasn't going to be picked on the same way anymore. But a lot of times, that's a lot of motivation for people. If you're like trying to change something that you don't have direct control over in your life, if somebody picks on you, if they bully you, and you're like, all right, if I change my circumstance, then maybe I'll change the way people treat me. Steve was in that same boat, and that's an amazing parallel now that I think about it. Yeah, a lot of us are victims to the things that other people do to us. It's all made up. It's like getting angry at a Smurf. So, you know, this goes two ways because some people get mad at stuff even when it's fake, right? Like there's a lot of people who don't like the way the Rings of Power has handled races in the worlds of Middle Earth. There's a lot of people who don't like, you know, when characters get race swapped in TV shows and films. And they're all fake for the most part. The TV show and film is all fake. So it matters on perspective. You know, I know that if a character's race isn't tied to the context of their story, I'm a little bit more forgiving. But if it's tied into the context of their story, like, oh, you know, this guy is a leader of a black country and he's a black king, then it'll be weird if you change his race. But if it's like something that's a little bit more agnostic, then I'm usually a little bit more open to it. Like if they one day said they wanted to make the Avatar Smurfs purple, I wouldn't be like, oh, you can't do that. No, James Cameron said they're blue. Purple. I would not be that upset. Let's see. I'm from Australia. Why would I want someone from America representing me? Would you like someone from? It happens all the time. You know, look at Batman. Batman was played by Christian Bale. Christian Bale is Welsh. Henry Cavill is from Britain. Like it happens all the time. Like we always have UK actors or actors from other countries coming into the United States playing American characters. Daniel Kaluuya, didn't he play what's his name in Judas and the Black Messiah? Like he's not even from the United States, but he's playing black historical figures. It happens all the time. And after a while, I fall on the fence where I do prefer if somebody is from the country in which they're playing, in which the character is based, if it's based off of a real person or a realistic interpretation of a person. But otherwise, I sometimes am agnostic to it too. If you like are like Idris Elba and you give me a solid Stringer Bell in The Wire, I'm probably not going to care as much. Like, oh snap, you're British. First time I heard Andrew Garfield talk blew my mind. Like when he's not in character and he's not being Peter, that blew my mind. Like we've had more British Spider-Man than not. Like this is wild to me. What you think of Heretic? Oh man. Oh yes. Didn't we talk about? We didn't talk about Heretic. Okay, listen, hold on. Let me star this because I got to talk about one more thing, and then I'm gonna come back to Heretic. Fred Hampton. Thank you. He played Fred Hampton. I have a problem with Rings of Power. Yeah, go for it, man. I get some of the criticisms, like when they're like, yo, Gandalf is acting weird. Like that kind of stuff, I get it. Like, oh, you know, this is a different from the book. But sometimes I'm like, I don't care because I haven't read the books in a long time, and I'm also not as attached to those stories as other people are. Like I'm super serious about Peter Parker, right? Like when Peter Parker was shooting webs from his wrist in the Tobey Maguire movies, I was not happy. Right when Andrew Garfield Spider-Man gave him web shooters, I was like, yes, this is what it was supposed to be, you know. So some things I'm super serious about, some things I'm not. But I'm gonna come back to Heretic in a second. Let me just switch gears real quick to. Oh man, we're burning through time. I wanted to talk about. I think we talked about enough negative stuff for tonight, right? I was going to talk about this Emilia Perez acting person, Karla Sofia Gascon. I was going to talk about it because she's tweeting in support of Adolf Hitler and making fun of Black and Asian people. But I'm going to just keep it sweet. I am no longer supporting Karla Sofia Gascon. I'm not a fan of Karla Sofia Gascon's tweets. I'm not supporting Karla Sofia Gascon. More power to the folks who have worked on projects with this person, but I'm not supporting Karla Sofia Gascon. But yeah, I was going to go into all that, went way longer into the other topics. I want to talk real quick about something I did watch. I told you guys last week I was able to see, right? I was going to talk about Karla Sofia Gascon. Oh. Did I not? I had it. Don't do this to me. See? Fine. Let me put it together real quick. Karla Sofia Gascon. I want to talk a little bit about Heart Eyes. So I was able to see this movie recently, and I figured let me share my opinion about the film with you. I'm going to keep it muted so you guys can hear me talk, and we can talk about Heretic right on after, because seeing as how they're both horror films, right? Or thriller or suspense. So for those of you just checking in, welcome back to Monday Night Movies. Welcome back to Monday Night Movies. We're going to celebrate the good, the bad, the gloriously ridiculous. Tonight, I'm diving headfirst into a film that embraces ridiculous with open, blood-soaked arms. Now, I'm talking about Hard Eyes. Now, Hard Eyes is a horror comedy that knows exactly what it wants to be. It's a fast, absurd, and bloody thrill ride. It's like Scream on a sugar rush with a dash of Final Destination thrown in for good measures. Creative kills, check. Sharp, dark humor, you bet your sweet beating heart. They have it all. So let me break it down. There's the pros. Now, the pros in the film are that this film has kills that would make Final Destination proud. Humor that's witty, juvenile, and surprisingly effective. Absurdity and suspense balanced perfectly. Now, we have Jay Simmons, who's being suspicious as F in this movie. Jay Simmons is played by Mason Gooden. And he's man, one of my favorite things about these types of movies is when we have these thrillers, these slasher movies with young people running from a killer, is when we get those creative kills, when we have those moments that the movie just isn't taking itself seriously and it just leans into having fun with whatever the subject matter is, whatever's happening on screen, all of that cool stuff. There are some moments where the plot get chaotic. Characters make choices that would make a brain surgeon cry. And it sometimes moves at a breakneck pace, but it still kind of works, right? Like I said, you got Mason Gooden as Jay Simmons. You recognize him from the Scream films. He's a highlight, right? He's basically the ultimate red herring. The movie knows that he's suspicious. We knows that he's suspicious. He probably knows that he's suspicious, and it's hilarious. And of course, we have the obligatory hysterical white woman trope in full effect in this film, because what's a horror movie without someone making a questionable decision that leads to certain doom? Hard Eyes even leans into that trope. Like, it's socially aware of what the movie is, what the expectations are, and who's exactly watching this movie. And I love that because it makes the writing seem extra smart. So long story short, it's a blast. It's self-aware. It's funny. It's gory. It knows exactly what it is. And honestly, sometimes that's really all you need. With the right momentum, this could easily become a franchise. We might have Hard Eyes going for some time. Should you see it? If you like kind of those movies, the Final Destinations, the Scream movies, and you're just at that point where you're desensitized to where you're looking for the humor in it, absolutely. This is the movie for you. Just don't break any glass to get into your building afterwards, because you'll know what I mean when you see the movie. Don't break the glass to get into your building if you leave your keys somewhere. Trust me. Anyway, that's what I have for this movie. I'm really excited for you guys to see it. It comes out on February 7th, which is this Friday. I have my written review up on the movieblog.com. Go ahead, go see it. It's fun. It's cool. It's cool. So that is my thoughts on this film. What are you guys saying about it in the comments? If I did a slasher horror film, I would watch it. Oh, if I did slasher and horror films, I would watch it. If you're desensitized to it and you look for it, the comedy in it, you'll like it. Trust me. It does look entertaining. It is. It's one of those movies. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's hard for me to watch slasher stuff. Like, I have a phobia with knives. Like, knives freak me out. So when I see them, I'm like, my wife is like almost embarrassed. Like, I'm always jumping and cringing. I'm like I can't stand that stuff, but I watch it for the humor. Like, I power through it. But yeah, let me know what you think. Way too old for it. YouTube is the closest I get. I understand. I respect it. No, someone who's throwing stuff out there because they know it's going to be controversial. Doesn't matter if I agree or not. It's just a waste of energy since the point is provocation. I don't know what we're talking about, KS. Can't we just ignore people who are being purposely divisive and inflammatory and keep it pushing? Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't think we should. Mainly because if we continue to just ignore things, then things that influence doesn't stop, right? Like, I think it would be ideal if we got to a position where people were more understanding of each other, because then I think that would make us a little bit more tolerable of each other. It's when we ignore people and we just kind of put ourselves in silos and wall ourselves off that I think that things could get worse, because you don't control the narrative. You don't have any influence on the narrative. They're just forming opinions on their own without your input. I'm sure a lot of people wish they could ignore America because we're backward. Like, we still use pound. We don't use the metric system. It's weird here. But if people influence us enough, maybe we can do the same thing as the rest of the world and stop being so obtuse. Let me see. You too, right? I jump at that stuff. The only way to change is through conversation. Thank you. I agree. I'll be back. Mackie Vals. Oh, you'll be back? Where you going? I was gonna wrap up soon. If you constantly live in your own bubble, you have no idea of the world. It's all just a giant echo chamber. Couldn't say it better myself. I appreciate you, Dragnet. But real quick, Heretic, man. I didn't even have my notes prepared for this one, so this is off the dome. I thought I talked about it, but let me. Oh man, I didn't change my banner at all. That's gonna look great. Let me give you a quick little Heretic reaction. So, Heretic. What did I think of Heretic? I thought Hugh Grant was really, really good in that movie. I thought the two girls that were acting in the movie. This is what happens when I don't have my notes. Sophie Thatcher and Chloe East. I thought they were really interesting. I thought I thought their performances were a little uneven. But I thought that overall they did really good. And Topher Grace was just a damn chameleon. I didn't even know that was Topher Grace in that film. Make sure I'm doing this properly. Yeah, let me just show me. I didn't even know that was Topher Grace in that film. But what really impressed me about the movie was not just the premise, but just how smart the movie was, how aware it was of so many different religions, and tying in the commonalities of them in order to have this premise of this dude who's like wildly diabolical. I like the idea of the Mormon. Were they Mormons? I think they were Mormons, right? They were like door-to-door evangelists, or no, Latter-day Saints, Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That's what it was. They were members of the Church of Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints. They were going door to door, trying to evangelize, trying to recruit people to join their church. And the fact that Hugh Grant's character was the way he was, he's just, ooh, I really enjoyed his performance. I really enjoyed the premise. I really enjoyed the writing and the ideological conversation that they had within it. I think the conversation about the different theologies, the different religions, and the commonalities of them really is what maintained my interest. But then they started to also do really well with the complexity of the writing in Hugh Grant's character, all the little details, all the little subtleties that his character was leaving throughout the movie, as they worked their way into the danger that he was hiding from behind closed doors. I thought all of that was really well done. I think some of the things didn't land as well. I feel like the ending felt a little bit rushed. I felt like they could have gone a little further with it, or the movie could have been a little bit longer, but it also felt like it didn't want to overstay its welcome, and they kind of moved at that pace on purpose in order to reach a conclusion. Overall, I really enjoyed Heretic because it had a great performance from Hugh Grant. It had a really good, smart, witty writing that makes you think about different religions. Like, it brings outside stuff in without making that stuff the main topic. I thought that was really fun. I just felt like the ending was a little bit rushed, and I thought that they could have done a little bit more with the threat that Hugh Grant was hiding behind closed doors. So overall, if I had to give it a score, I would probably give it a solid 7.5 to 8 out of 10. And I'm only taking away points because of the way I felt the ending was a little bit rushed. But yeah, I really thought it was really cool. I really thought it was really, really cool. Let me see. I'm not talking about actual productive conversation, just the BS. Oh, yeah. I mean, I love the productive conversation, productive being the key. It's all BS on social media because that's all we're doing. If I offer you guys to have a real conversation with me, we're not going to do BS. It's really just about the people you're talking to, and if they're willing to adhere to that type of conversation, if they're willing to take constructive criticism, if they're willing to have thicker skin than usual. So just know, when you come here on this channel, it is not going to be just BS. We can actually talk about it. Oh man, I am a big Shawshank Redemption fan. That's why it's a part of my vocabulary. Topher was playing the church, the pastor or whatever. Like, he was the one that went door to door looking for them. That was Topher. I didn't know him. He was a chameleon. I was like, what? I didn't know. What do you I didn't watch Tropic Thunder. I didn't watch it. Tropic Thunder. I didn't watch it because I was just like, I was at a age in my life where I didn't want to find out the joke. Like, I was just like, knee-jerk reaction. I'm not checking it out. I'm not doing it. So I've never seen it. Could they do something like it in today's age? Why not? Why not? Who's going to stop them? I don't see why not. They absolutely could. Heck, we might be getting one right now. Who knows? But I absolutely believe that they could do it. Have you seen Unhinged on Netflix with Russell Crowe? I've not yet, but I did add it to my list last night because I was looking through stuff that was new and it was there, and I was like, man, this is kind of looking solid. This is kind of looking solid. So I haven't seen it yet. But I haven't seen it. I haven't seen Tropic. Is it Tropic or Tropic? I don't know. I haven't seen it. Every time I'm about to watch it, those feelings start bubbling up again. But I'm curious what you all think about all the topics that we discussed. I think that's everything I had for this week. I didn't have anything else. No, I didn't have nothing else. Why won't you watch Tropic Thunder? Because they had Robert Downey Jr. in blackface. I was just like, black. I don't even know the context of it. I was just like, I just didn't want to enable that sort of thinking that being offensive to black people in Hollywood is okay. So I just didn't watch it. But yeah, anyway, that's all I have for this week. I'm curious what you guys think about everything. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think I'm gonna check out for right now. I think I'm gonna do another show later this week. Wednesday, I'm supposed to be seeing Love Hurts with Kei Hu Kwan. Saturday, I'm going to be back again with the new Blerd Order at 10 a.m. unless something comes up. Otherwise, I'm going to check you all later. Be good, y'all. Peace.